Considering starting a career in the automotive service industry or making a career change? Then this KGCT 8 Motorist Minute story is just for you. KGCT 8 had the opportunity to speak with an expert that provided some very helpful advice on how to start a career in the automotive industry.
I'm going to be speaking with an expert here about starting a career as an automotive technician. So joining me today is George Arentz with ASE. Thank you, George, for joining me.
Pat, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Well, we're going to get started with talking about a student at a high school level that may be interested in getting into a career as an automotive technician. What advice, what suggestions would you give a student at a high school level that might be interested in that kind of career?
First of all, I would look as a student to talk to some of your friends that may be taking the classes, even maybe going to meet the instructor or your counselor. There is a lot of opportunities in many of the schools in the Houston area. Also, some of the school districts have a career center such as we are here today. Some of them are inside the high school. You can take it for 1 year, 2 years, or all 4 years of high school. And a lot of times today there's a practicum or a work-based learning component where you could actually go to work and be paid while you're going to school.
Okay, so if a student was interested, then they could get with some of the leadership in the school, learn more about it,
Yep.
visit with the automotive instructor, and if they have friends, other students in the school, they could talk to them about it as well, right?
And better to talk to your peers, find out what they like, don't like in their different courses, and make the decisions with people that you know and feel comfortable with. You bet.
And we're standing in an actual classroom. It looks like a repair shop, but this is where they're going to learn. This is very much like the real world if they were out there as a technician earning a living.
This is the Hensler Center here in Alvin, Texas, and it feeds off multiple schools. This is an ASE accredited program, so this program meets national standards. It's quiet right now, but it's normally not. Not only do they have automotive, they have collision and other career opportunities here. So many opportunities for young people that are interested in the skilled trades these days, which seems to be a solid movement right now.
And it's more than just sitting in a classroom and going through textbooks. They're going to get out here and get some real hands-on experience, whether it's pulling an engine, rebuilding an engine, doing brake work, or like you said, even collision repair.
Yes, and most of these courses are more hands-on. There are some theory, clearly a lot of safety, but a lot of it is hands-on, working in small groups, learning how to work with others, using those skill sets and perfecting them so that you're proficient in them. So when you finish school here, you can either go on to post-secondary, community college, tech school, or may have the opportunity to go right into industry, which some of the students do because they go to work part-time in their senior year, and some of us older folks know it as a co-op.
And let's talk about those that are beyond the high school years. Yep. And it's never really too late. So for someone that is out of high school, yep, and they're thinking about maybe I want to be that automotive technician, how do I go to school and learn all about this trade so I can step off into one of those jobs? What would you suggest they do?
So whether you're a couple of years out of high school or a gray hair, no hair like us, the community colleges, many of them have evening courses. Back in the mid-90s, I taught evening classes at Houston Community College. All of my students had a full-time career, and they were looking to better themselves and get more skill sets and get into an occupation where they can increase their earning capacity and support their family. And I had students from the age of 22 to 23 to a gentleman who was a professor at Rice University who was 62 years old. When he finished the program, he actually became an instructor there in the automotive program. So our industry doesn't have a career ladder. We have a career lattice. And the biggest thing is getting the foundational skills. And you can do that at any age through your local community colleges in the Houston area.
And so for someone that may already have started their career in something other than the automotive industry, you really don't have to leave your job because you can go to school in the evenings or weekends, yes, to learn this trade.
You can, and you don't have to go for a full degree. You can get a certificate program, which is a few courses that may give you the skill sets you need to start in a position, like a brakes and an electrical and a suspension class. And those evening classes are designed for people that are working full-time during the day. And a lot of times they're only a couple nights a week, and that's what's really good. It gives you an opportunity to get started, work at your own pace, but also the opportunity for you to move into our industry, which is in high demand.
And we've been around this industry long enough where we've seen this industry change significantly over the years. So, back when, we started out as you're a mechanic, but now it really, you're a true technician in that there's more to do than just like replace brake pads. It's like a rolling computer, basically.
It is. If you turn it on its side, it's probably the most sophisticated physics project ever designed. Many of these car computers have multiple processors moving 1 to 2 million pieces of data per second. And all these things have to communicate with each other. So it's more of a white shirt job than it is a gray or blue shirt job, because a lot of times you're using computers, you're using laptops, you're using handheld devices. We still do the preventative maintenance, but a bulk of the work is now moving into that arena.
Yeah, so it's turning more into an IT type of job than it's ever been before. Would you agree?
More IT, because most of the time, and most consumers know when they take their vehicle into the dealership, they hear about reprogramming or they're updating the processors. Just like a car or updating your Windows unit systems, you're updating the computers in the car with the latest technology or any modifications that have been made by the manufacturer. So it really is pretty close to rocket science.
Yeah, it's very high tech now. So for these folks that would want to get off into this career, one of the, I think, most important things to touch on is what is the demand out there for these technicians?
So people say there's a technician shortage. I say there's a workforce urgency. We have a lot of students interested in our career path, and it's getting them through the schools and into the workforce. Most employers are looking for somebody. I also say you need to be selective of who you want to go to work for, but everybody is looking, and most of the good employers are willing to take an entry-level person and grow them in their organization. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for an organization that's willing to invest in you so that you get your skill sets, additional education, and grow with that organization.
Well, one thing that I would like to touch on is credentials, certifications, and you being with ASC, certainly that's the largest perhaps organization out there that provides these certifications. And so as they're progressing through their learning, that's one of the things they get assistance with, is preparing for those types of exams to get those certifications.
You're correct. And at the school level, like this school right here, the students take what we call the ASE entry-level tests. And those tests are just a work readiness credential to tell a local employer that they have the basic knowledge to enter the workforce. But then we have professional level. There's not a one of you that would go to a doctor that's not certified, an attorney who's not certified, or an accountant who's not certified. Why would you go to a technician that's not nationally certified? You want to make sure that they're taking care of your car and making sure that your family is secure.
And so those certifications are really important. Let's talk a little bit about someone that perhaps would want to go and get more information and read up on what we've talked about today. I know ASC is a very large organization. Yep. How could they get to that information at ASC, the website and such?
So the ASCeducationfoundation.org is where all of the information is regarding schools that are accredited by us. And there's over 1,800 of them across the country. Many of them in the Houston Metroplex and surrounding area. That's a good place to start. We have field managers in many of our states, and it's listed on our website that you can communicate that would help you open the door to a local school. Or if you're interested, I'm listed on our website, reach out to me. I'm local, be more than happy to help anybody, guide you in the direction of any of the high schools or post-secondary community college tech schools in the Houston area, and there's lots of them.
So there's a lot of resources out there to help folks that may have some interest in this field.
Yep.
And so for a technician that's saying, okay, I'm ready to get out there and I'm trained up and I'm really serious about this, you can make a pretty good living in that type of position. Is that correct? Would you agree?
Agreed. Right out of the starting as entry level, it's a little slow to start, just like any other occupation. But once you get the skill sets, you can make a substantial living. There is an organization called Wrenchway, and they have a technician pay survey. I would go to that. It's just wrenchway.com, and it will tell you what technicians are making in your area. Talk to other people that are in the industry. You'll be surprised. Or if there is an automotive or diesel technician in your neighborhood that's got a lot of toys in his driveway or her driveway, it's telling you they're making pretty good money.
Yeah, exactly. So for anyone that's considering a career as an automotive technician, you got some really good information here from an individual I believe is a real expert in this field, and there's a lot of resources out there for you. So George, I appreciate you joining me today.
Pat, thanks for the opportunity, and thank you, everyone.
KGCT 8.